started without me. So I wanted to hop in here and make sure everyone would have the opportunity to watch it. You'll have to forgive me on the amount of lag that I'm likely going to have from all of this, because there's a lot going on. And this is just chaotic, to say the least. I had a feeling that there would be some field fighting before the level 8 opened, but I did not believe that it was going to be to this degree. This is just absolutely ridiculous. Mink's trying to come down here to help. There's a couple of small sub-fights going off in the outskirts. And then you have some people who just aren't paying attention to everything, or they're trying to stay out of it in order to keep their troops alive. But there's just so much going on. Now, I will go ahead and warn you. This is much earlier than I would normally hop on stream, because my youngest kids are still awake. So if I have to step away for a minute, I will do my best to come back to this so that you can watch. However, bear with me. My kids will come first. But there's so much going on, Smoke. They need to color code the people so that we can zoom out to this and see how everything's going. That needs to be a suggestion in the Discord. You're probably up here somewhere. I saw a couple of Mink players heading down from the top corner there. Yeah, there's a Mink player up here. A couple of HNB players back here, kind of staying out of things. A couple of Boon players staying out of things. It's just a lot of chaos, and I'll try and stay zoomed out over here so that we don't get too laggy. But all in all, just chaos. See Envy, Ginny in there. I recognize them. HMB has a DHX Panda Gay. I just want to highlight that so you know who this person is. Panda. In case you watch this later. There's someone calling you out from HMB. Oh, hey Panda. There you are. Oh, good lord, you can see the glitching. Nope, zoom out. There's Panda Gay. DHX has a habit of keeping their players with the DHX symbol twice, so I don't know if maybe some of the HMB players are just playing a joke on it, or if they're trying to avoid getting hit. Either way, it's funny to see people with HMB, DHX, DHX, Boon, Boon. Not all of their players. Not all of them. But yeah, they have a few players in there that act like children. But then again, when you have that much money, can you blame them? You can act however you want at that point. When you have enough money to compete in this mess, now you just gotta wait until there's 5 more alliances that can compete on this level. I would love to see ROK, BTW in here. Would be just fantastic. It is a mess. Now, I'm going to zoom out for a little bit and make sure that my kids are taken care of, because I caught this. Oh, you're right. If I, it's kind of like one bad apple spoils the bunch in that sense, where if they're not holding their other players accountable, then they're just as complicit. So I get where you're coming from. We occasionally get the flank bonuses in there too. There's just so much going on. But look what you don't see too much of. All of these people on the field, and while I can't see a lot of the secondaries, a lot of the primaries make sense. You've got a couple in here that are mistakes, such as this park over here. Where's Waldo? Where did he go? I've been looking for him for 6 minutes now. I can't find him. Oh, but look at the leaders of these. Like we were seeing in some of the other alliances I was watching, Russell's thrown around, a lot more Parks, a lot more Freyas, and stuff like that. And like heroes that have no business being, at the very least, no business leading on the field. And I'm not talking about people down in the 200s. This is the only thing I have open right now. I opened this up while I still had Warzone loaded from earlier today, and it locked up on me. This is why I'm on PC. Hey, Smoke, I'm curious. Are you able to see chats from the other... because I'm streaming this on YouTube and Twitch at the same time. Are you all able to see each other's chats? I was kind of curious about that the other day. Because I know YouTube can talk to each other. But I didn't know if YouTube could talk to Twitch or not. So if you've seen chats from other sources, let me know. I'm kind of curious. Sorry, Ria. Noted. Okay, I gotta see if there's a way I can kind of mesh the two through another site. I'm currently using Restream, so I thought there would be a way to... Okay, I thought there would be a way to mesh the chats. And by the way, thank you both for answering my questions. I had one person from Twitch and one person from YouTube. Bay Druid, yes, I am from NBD. Well, and yes. So a small subset of fighting here. Smokeall was actually one of the first people to ever watch my streams, and they've been exclusively on Twitch. So I'll let Smokeall decide where they want to go. Oh, hey, Joppa. How are you doing? By the way, hell of a push from DH being able to push back RVSS yesterday. I'll have to admit, there were quite a few people in my alliance that weren't expecting it, even though you were supposed to be on equal footing. I guess because LTF managed to push you back, we were kind of curious if you would be able to come back, but you did. Push them all the way back to their helipad. So, impressive. And unforgettable, yes. I don't really know how else to describe this. Yeah, you do. All the different cats and bears I keep seeing popping up, and honestly, it's funny whenever I try to explain something and you pop up that one little cat taking notes. No, I have not seen any of the rallies from G1 yet. I figured I would ask if Panda would share some of them with me whenever I got a chance after Island Raid, but I've just kind of been watching how things progress. Oh no, it's a cat with a credit card. Nom 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 nom. Jesus Christ, it's Jason Bourne. Primarily LTF. A minute to attack the city. And you pushed them all back. To be honest, I'm surprised anyone in our island still has troops. Oh yeah, burnt milk. Although I guess that's kind of the face I would make if I drank burnt milk. But yeah, the lag is insane here. So you know they're all playing on either the best mobile devices money can buy, or they're all on PC right now. Now, if you all give me a minute, you all can watch this. I have to go check on my kids. I will be right back. I have pretty much 0 troops left. I'll show you my hospital after this chaos begins. Okay. Okay, I've got the kids in the room with me today, so if you hear kids and Bluey in the background, deal with it. Oh, and it appears with as many people backing off, it was taken by one of them, but I can't tell who. No rally would have been able to load that fast, but it did anyway. HMB took it first. Wow. HMB got the final hit on it. Everyone's going home. And now it'll be up to Boone and DHX to try and take it from them. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. With this whole mess, I wonder whether this will change hands multiple times or not. No, you're not going back out there right now. You can see it in there. Got that H&B header on it. can't click on anything to save my life, even though there couldn't fight this if I wanted to. Oh, what in the world? Yeah, it's definitely not for the common folk. Or at least that's what I call myself. And there's absolutely no reduction in the amount of troops on the field right now. HMB is probably taking amazing trades on this right now. It's just utter chaos. I do want to check out our region because we've had a lot going on the last couple of days, and I want to see who's taking it. Region Loon is hitting it, but they aren't quick about taking it. Second smaller fight down here. That poor HMB person got circled. We could see that. Got a slight circle around a couple of these players. Man. And they do have a rally based on the lack of movement here. They have a Thunder in there running the rally. It's currently, is it Eastwood running things? Looks like Eastwood right there. Well, we've gotten fighting in 4 quadrants now. Well, 3 quadrants. As well as the center here. And there seems to be less troops around the center now. But I am impressed by the sheer grouping of troops around this side of it. HMB's side of it. So is that HMB DHX save me? Good lord. See if we can zoom in on the thing itself. You can see Eastwood taking hits. But he's not taking a lot of damage, so he doesn't have a concerted effort to take it out. And they're running a Victor. Look at it go. I have to admit, I'm surprised my computer is able to handle this. I can imagine this going on for a couple of hours. Give me just a second to check where the points are as far as Great Pirate King for the alliances, because I want to keep track of this for later. So we have 24, 9, and 8, because these are the 3 alliances we're watching right now. 24, 9, and 8. So we will come back to this later on and see how well those numbers are doing. Okay. Zooming back in on Eastwood, I want to see that skill go off, but I can't really tell where it's going. Depending on how many people are actually hitting him, it might be better to switch to someone who has counter damage. Just to inflict more damage. Because you have a couple of people that are definitely targeting it. But what I wouldn't give to be in that... oh, they switched. They went for a Lewis. So they believe there's less than 5 people around them. But even so, dealing... what is it? 20,000, 24,000 total skill damage off of that Lewis alone, if it hits 5 targets, which, let's be honest, it's hitting 5 targets. Reasons I need to test if garrisons are affected by AoE buff abilities. I know in Rise of Kingdoms they were. You could buff the garrison by fighting with a Alex or not Alex, Joan of Arc nearby, or at least it did when I used to play. What's going on? Okay, so they took it. Did we expect anything different? Who's running away? Did we expect H-Loon to not take it? What? Anyways. Oh, there's plenty of them. Lee, Lewis, hell, even Charlie would do well here. Because he does have solid AoE damage. Bianca, Alex. Why is there a Freya on the field? There's a Freya on the field. There's a Freya Liam on the field. Okay. There's a cat messaging me. Sure. Just a sec. Copy. And there we go. So, since there's a lot of people that are just... At least Akemi and Charlie both have solid AoE, and honestly Akemi is the better one, but to see a Freya leading... Did you see a Akemi and a Charlie? Oh, there he is. Look at that. There's a Charlie down there leading. That's funny, Bay Druid. Now, granted, if you talk about percentage of people running silly combos versus the total amount of people, HMB and Boone and DHX are still pretty low, but it's still funny to watch it happen. It really is. Let's see. Because we saw that Charlie down here in this corner. A lot of people are hiding their Biancas, which is smart. Lee's not going to make it across that field, I don't think. It is. However, that makes a little bit more sense if you're pumping. Yes. Oh. What's down here? I just moved when you said that word. What's down there? There's a Freya. There's another one. There's another Freya. Marching up from Boone. Where's the... Yeah, HMB already did take it, Davil. Well, Davilordo. Sorry, said that wrong. There's a Cynthia in here. I've seen that a lot more often lately. There's Dragon Scale up here in the top corner. Yeah, I know. I've seen. Okay. What's over? There's a Hank. I wonder how this one's doing, having a Lewis Jacob on the field. There's a bunch of Lees in here. There's Peter. You saw Farming Girl? Where did you see Farming Girl? Am I just blind and not noticing these stupid marges? Or are you just pointing out the secondaries that people... Either way, that one shouldn't be on the field. Oh, okay. You're welcome. Thunder has taken very little damage here. There's a lot going on right now. I saw that rally symbol. Where did it go? You have Boone Samuel running a Robert rally. DHX should be running a rally around here somewhere. If they aren't double rallying it at this point, they're not being smart. Where is it? Yeah, Thunder is definitely overpowered. There's an Edward. What are you doing other than dying? That's an Edward Thunder. There's a Liam. Yeah, it can't keep track of all the numbers. I think I have it on optimized mode, so it's not going to notice a lot of it. Hold on. But even so, you give up so much of everything else just to make sure you don't get weakened in this chaos. It's not worth it. I really wish I could see where the other rally was, because Boone's Samuel is not doing great. Yeah, it's not enough. Feel like you should be right around there. Let's zoom out a little bit, check on the troops. You've got a circle around this poor guy. Okay. Okay, let's check the kill points now real quick. We've gotten through at least another 5 minutes of fighting. Great Pirate King. It is now, like you said, what did we say it was? I think we said it was close to this already with 24, 9, and 8. Maybe it hasn't updated much yet. Well, I'll be able to go back in my video later and analyze that. However, let's get back to it. Because let's be honest, you all can check everything else on your own phones. This is the thing you can't really see much of. Uh-oh, fighting has kind of shifted towards HMB's side of things. Don't know if that's a smart thing to do. Normies is walking home. Sergeant Murphy's coming in. We got a little bit of fighting up here. They are circling someone right in here. This right here is dumb. Like I've said in a previous stream, you have a limit on the amount of troops that can hit the same target. And I believe that limit is 10. So if you see a circle forming like that around a single troop, back away. No, he didn't. You think you saw Whiskey Dog with a Thunder Maxine. At this point, you're kind of clicking on a hero that's either already weakened or is one that you want to target, and hoping your troops aren't dead by then. There's the rally scooting up to that side. DHX has still not sent a rally out that I can see. If you all can point out that rally to me, that would be great. Because the only one I see right now is the one from Samuel with a Robert Eddy. And it shifts up and down on how well it's doing. You gotta think, there's gotta be a limit at some point, right? Of how much they're able to actually keep doing that. We got a couple of DHX players kind of hanging back. HMB brought the fight to DHX. I don't know if it was likely they were following somebody and now they're caught up in this mess, but see all these troops that are wasted around a single march likely. Not actually dealing any damage. You have to be careful about that when you're dealing with that. Where's Owens? There's Hans. I see 3 Hans marshes. Need your skills to go off so I can see what you're running. Nope. Come on. My game can't load all of their secondaries. The skills go off and then too much time has passed for me to be able to see what else happened. Oh, middle left. I'm looking for a Maxine. I swear I know what she looks like. Where did he go? Okay, give me just a minute. There we go. Okay. Back to it. It's like a game of Where's Waldo, where all the fighting's going on. Let's find the dumbest march. Personally leaning towards whatever's... That appears to be... Is that a Raigoro Akemi? That appears to be a Raigoro Akemi. Oh, good lord. No, turn back on optimize mode. Whew. Afraid of what was going to happen there. There's a Russell. What are you doing? That is a Raigoro Russell. There's okay, that's a counter rally. I was like, what in the world is going on? It's like I thought DHX was finally going to rally it. Nope, they're rallying the rally. And I can't even tell where the rally is anymore. I know you have to be facing it, right? Oh, there it is. But DHX hasn't even made a rally on it yet. That I can see. Uh-oh. Eastwood is yellow. We can kind of see the numbers going on here. Honestly, they either need another infantry rally on it, or they need a like a Julia Jacob or something right now to try and abuse the silence mechanic, or just a Julia Lewis. Sure, it would have issues with being swarmed, but honestly, with as many troops that are on the field, it's hard to target anything right now. But you also have the benefit of being able to reinforce it pretty easily. Because there's no doubt in my mind that most of these marches are single troop marches, save for maybe the Lees or other specific multi-troop, mixed troop marches. So you could just say, oh, hey, I'll just throw the rest of these range troops in there, and I'll pull those range troops out and go. And they're already on the field. Even Julia here is trying to take advantage of the silence mechanic to slow down the HP debuff that Robert puts out. Okay. Sorry, I have to check on people from time to time. Man, this is going to go on for quite a while, and I will try and watch all of it. if there are any other regions you desperately want me to see, I will veer away from it for a short while to check out the region you would like and hop back in. But just know I'm not going to check multiple regions at a time, because I do not want to miss too much of what's going on here. Oh, is that a Bella? DHX actually sent one. Look at it. It's a Bella Sven. Granted, it's from Dragon Scale, so it probably hits like a truck, but still. A little underwhelmed. It's bulkier than a Julia Jacob, but hell, even this counter rally from HMB is still holding up fairly well. Well, where did it go? Yeah, see? We have a Julia Jacob, sorry, is it Julia Jacob or Julia Lewis? My apologies. We have a Julia Lewis rally on the field that's not dying. That should tell either Boone or DHX that ranged rally is viable. And I feel like with the HP debuff that Robert is doing, the silence would shut down a lot of Thunder's healing. It's like they're making progress. It's likely still full, but they are making progress. I am curious about what's going to happen if one side takes it, because I guarantee you there's going to be chaos, and HMB is likely going to swarm it in order to take advantage of that chaos. Got some more fighting down here. Boone's Green Rose kind of staying out of it. Here comes Shy, Red Bull, Samuel B. DHX Lucy's coming around. Glad to see she's still in it with both of her accounts, it appears. Let me take a look and see if Mink is coming down to help or not. I was curious if they were going to. HNB is pushing Mink back. Here we go. There, you can have your own headphones, Amarin. So it doesn't look like Mink's going to be doing too much. RPG's been pushed all the way back, and they're not even marching out to field fight. Which I admit, it's kind of sad. More troops in here, the better. Samuel's still holding strong. Where'd that... Did you cancel? You had to have canceled. No, there it is. You had a different dragon scale over there. Yeah, it was a different dragon scale. I guarantee you that Bella Sven rally is making some good trades. Oh, they switched out the leader. It is now Hans with a Thunder Lewis. No, Amarin, come get up here. There we go. Okay. Checking chats. No, you do not get coins back for demolishing an Alliance tower. You don't get anything back. You built it, you paid for it, you broke your own stuff, you don't get your money back. I wonder, and hear me, I really wonder how much friendly fire there is right now. Because the game hasn't created a mechanic for like actual non-aggression pacts or alliances like this, it's very easy to get caught up in either AoE damage from an ally or just accidentally targeting your allies. I'm sure they're a bit better about it, like point and clicking, which honestly is probably why HNB changed a lot of their names to keep their troops from being targeted as much. But at the same time, there's still got to be a lot, and I mean a lot, of friendly fire going on. Oh, we have an influx of DHX coming in. There are fewer troops on the field, and here's a circle again. Yeah, there's definitely less troops on the field. Checking the chat again. Nope. Let's see how the rallies are doing. DHX Dragon Seal is down here now, and the rally is still holding very strong. Where did... There you are. This is likely still completely full. Got to admit, I was definitely wrong in my first assessment of Robert when he first came out. Thought there was going to be just too much going on for him to be really good at much of anything, but turns out Jack of all trades is still better than a master of one, and he does his job well. What? Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like there's more of an influx of Boone and DHX right now than there is HMB. You've got a couple of smaller groups coming in, but I still feel the troop advantage is in DHX and Boone's favor. We've watched this for about another 10 minutes now, and Hans has slipped into the red. Not that that means too much, but while not much is happening, let's go ahead and take a look at the point totals and see if there's been any shift. So, remember we were at 24, 9, and 8, and now we're at 25, still at 9, close to 10, and Boone has jumped up at least another 400 million. But HMB has jumped another billion, so it appears as if the trades are still in HMB's favor, despite looking like they have a disadvantage in troop numbers. I wonder, with everything that's going on, if it would be better to make HMB come all the way to them. Just to completely split it up, have DHX up top, Boone at bottom, and not only not cross the lines, but only fight from here back. Maybe that's what these people over here are thinking, trying to make sure they don't follow anyone too far. But Boone seems to have a pretty solid hold of this south side. DHX is working to get rid of a couple of big players still, but it does appear that the fighting is dying down compared to what we were looking at earlier on. I'm gonna hop on my I'm gonna zoom out a little bit, and I'm gonna hop on my Discord on my phone so I don't run the risk of cutting out at all. I'm gonna publish the stream to everybody. And publishing. Actually, on that note, I want to streaming. Copy message link. Head on over to the main Discord and see if anybody wants to watch it. Where's my channel? Where's the post that I made? Chaos. Absolute chaos. Okay, and we're back. Samuel's still holding strong around the outside there, and he's actually picked up troops. He has at least what looks like a bar advantage on his. And you can kind of make out Dragon Scale has dropped significantly. At this point, you can definitely tell it would be a lot easier to reinforce the rally from the Alliance menu as opposed to trying to click on it on the screen. There's an Alex on the field. There was an Alex leading on the field. Okay. Nope. Yeah, Boone needs to keep control of that house, that south side, and work their way up. DHX is controlling the north side and pushing them back down. What is it? Yes, I know. I know it's the bedtime. Let me... Oh, okay. This Julia rally is still going. Anyways, I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. I have to put my kids to bed, so give me a little bit of time. If you're interested in just watching, I will let you know when I get back, and leave your questions to then, because the chats disappear after a certain amount of time, so I don't want to miss anything that you're asking me. So I'll be right back. Give me about 5 minutes. Come on, babies. Oh God, you unplugged all the tablets. No, he doesn't have a tablet. Come on, Emery. What you do? Okay, everyone, I'm back. I apologize for stepping away for a few minutes. What'd I miss? We're starting to make like a 3-leaf clover of troop fighting here. And Hans is still holding on to it. How are the rallies doing? Don't see. Wait, there it is. There's Dragon Scales. It just disappeared. DHX canceled the rally. Does that mean Samuel canceled his as well? No, the fighting's still going on there. Yep, Samuel's still going strong. So, kudos to Boone for starting a rally and lasting throughout the entirety of DHX's rally. Oh, good lord, I'm a 5-year-old. I'm still weeming it. Can't type properly. And we've got a circle going on here to make sure that Poopy Fudge doesn't make it back, but it's just too many troops. Dragon Scale, Dragoo Scale. Are they starting another rally? Probably. Envy sticking to the outskirts right now. HMB Phoenix coming in. My sentiments exactly. What's all going on here? I can't. Jessica. I was like, who are they hitting in here? It's Piggle. Hi, Piggle. Wait, there's your troop. He's just kind of trying to point you out. Yeah, it's absolutely nuts. And I know a lot of people are having a hard time even looking at it, so I'm going to stick to this for probably a majority of the stream. I see Hans holding against... You can check for rallies for looking for this marker right here. Samuel has had his up for a while now. There was a counter rally from a Julia Lewis for a while, but I currently cannot see it. So that probably canceled, and DHX just had a rally that canceled about a minute ago from Dragon Scale. So they'll likely reset, and it'll be back out in 3 to 4 minutes. Probably closer to 2 to 3 minutes now. Maybe I'm just blind to it, but one thing I have not seen a lot of is scouts. I can imagine it'd be hard to click your target, but everyone knows they're... No problem, MJ. But yeah, that's the easiest way to point out a rally. It's to look for that one little icon. And if you notice, he's moving around quite a bit. If too many targets hit the dead ruins, he'll move to accommodate. There's a victor on the field. There's a victor on the field. How's it doing, and who are you running with? I want to know. And you're not going to tell me. Hey, Victor Bianca. Not a bad choice considering mixed troop options. Oh. You're circling again. Circling up here. I feel like some of HMB's players are abusing that mechanic. They know that players can't, more than 10 players can't hit the same target. But if they send one march out here, 85 people are going to hit it. And no, that's not much of an exaggeration. Knowing that that many troops are occupied with a single march makes it almost worth the poor trades. Especially when you're just going to go back to your base and click that gem button 15 times. DHX is having a lot harder time controlling there. Not even my region. I would love to be a part of this chaos. I'd pop a 50% troop expansion and throw my tier 5 troops around to see how much damage I could do. I would die, but I would have fun doing it. But this is not my region. Not my circus, not my monkeys, but people love watching the monkeys. DHX is making a little bit of progress here on the north side. They really need to start trying to push these people back. Oh, I'm in G4. So we're still up in the top 5, but ours has been an interesting island altogether, but I can't watch both, sadly. So I will cater to the consumers and watch what they can't, because there's a lot of people that can't watch this on their phone right now. Based on what I'm seeing, HMB is losing ground. DHX is slowly pushing them back on this side. Every once in a while, an HMB player will just completely cross and cause that whole circle fight that I was mentioning earlier. But otherwise, they're slowly pushing them back. We've got it past the halfway point here, and there's that other rally. He changed his name so it would be noticeable. Yeah. One of their stronger rider commanders is running the rally now. HNB is desperately trying to create a foothold here at the center. But a lot of them are just pushing directly into the hive here, which is keeping the center open for DHX and Boone to keep control of the dead ruins. You know, despite this red line, you know this thing is still full. You're watching it on your phone and on Twitch? Lucky you. Even the zombies are confused. They don't know what the hell's going on. The frantic zombies popped up. They're getting caught by AoE and dying accidentally. Don't know if anyone's a Seven Deadly Sins fan, but it's kind of like the second version of the fighting tournament. It's like, when did Bird Guy die? I would love to see you do that. I want to watch you do it. Oh, here's a counter rally coming from HMB. Dragon SB is centered in on Robert. Let's see if I can zoom in enough to see the damage numbers. I can. Thunder's healing output is weakened. It used to be over 4,000, but now it's under 4, right around 3,500 with a little bit extra on counter attacks. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. The game's been waiting for even just a Boone HMB matchup of this scale for a while. The last time Boone and HMB matched up, it was, if I remember correctly, it ended up ending early due to the game lockout. More Boone players were affected by the game lockout than HMB players, and HMB took that opportunity and locked them in their own helipad. There was no coming back from it. So pretty much everyone in the game has been hoping for a battle of this scale for a while. And we know it can still get better. ROK and BTW from G2 deserve to be up here. There are a couple other 10 billion plus alliances that deserve to be up here that I think would make a difference regardless of what side they ended up on. Mink has players come down periodically to try and help out with the field fighting. RPG's been knocked out to their level 6, and I don't think anyone along this south side is even trying. They're just at this point trying to keep the points that they have. But Boone spent too much time playing with HMB down here in this corner, and HMB is taking some space around the center again. DHX is still kind of holding to this corner here, and they have a lot of their players that aren't even playing. Yes, actually, this is a good time to check the kills. It's been about another 15 minutes. The first one at 1 billion kills, I don't think so. I think Hans or Envy has had it before. Don't quote me on that. As far as personal, we have multiple people with billions of kills. Currently, we're at 15 people who have over 1 billion kills, and by the end of this, we'll have a few more. Now, we started at 24, 9, and 8. It is now 26, 10, and 9, so it's still a 2-to-1 trade for HMB, DHX, and Boone, which is expected. They are fighting 2v1. No what, Smoke? Yeah, there's definitely not as many marches on the field anymore. Uh-oh. Pods is moving. I apologize. I have to go watch this. Pods hadn't done much for a while now, and they managed to get over here, take the settlement, and... Oh, get her done. Okay. Allow me to make sure that there's no movement on my end. Okay. Back to G1. Which, I don't mind watching this. There's not much I can do right now. Oh, then let me cut out of this. I apologize, Kami. Just a quick update of what's going on. Kill points. There's a difference between kills and kill points. Obviously, if you're just counting the kills, it's just going to count each individual troop. So tier 6 is worth far more than a tier 1. That would make sense. But if you have 800 million kills with, say, 100 million of them tier 6, that would be worth far more than someone who just had 800 million tier 1 kills. That's where the point difference is coming from. They're killing tier 6, tier 5, maybe some tier 4 if they manage to sneak in here. Is that an Alex with a dut? Well, that's definitely loopy there, Josh. Anyways, quick update. Sam is still holding. This rally has been going on the entire time. Okay, we do have Safe Me's Rider Rally holding strong. Even though it's down in the yellow, you know this thing is still doing fairly well. I'm really surprised there's not a... Just considering the high death recovery rate, there's not a circle of debuffing units around this. If they can throw troops at it, throw anything that weakens his stats, HP, defense, attack, whatever, make it easier to take down. And we're splitting. Boone's got a couple of HMB players that they're trying to take out here, and not a lot of damage happening because of that limit. Alekas, I don't know if you just aren't paying attention or if you're doing this intentionally, but you were pulling half of Boone Alliance troops away from the center, and it's doing a wonderful job. Because he'll come over here, he'll get circled by this many troops, and not all of them are doing damage. And that gives HMB a little bit of wiggle room with where they are. Got a bit of a spear from HMB pushing. We've got another counter. We've got a... Okay. Make sure I'm looking at this. HNB's Chuck Norris is counter-rallying Safe Me. And then you've got DHX's, I can't tell, okay, DXX Orange is counter-rallying the counter-rally. And honestly doing very well. With Eddie on the field, you almost can't swarm it, so rallying is your best option. Okay, looking at this again, it doesn't look like Julia is on the field anymore. The Julia rally isn't there anymore, so there's nothing to counter rally. I can only imagine the amount of troops that Hans has killed right now. Yeah, Hans is at 669. Jessica has reached 1 billion kills, with over a third of them being tier 5 and above. I don't think anyone else come close. We'll check that out later. Our massive field fighting. Not really. Yep. Currently streaming it. Actually, let me... The first 1 billion troops killed, and over a third of them are tier 5 and above, which is even more impressive. Well, hello, Dina. Welcome from RBSS. There's another one. So HMB's Dart is hitting Samuel's rally now. This is an Elena what? Elena Bella. Hans is still holding strong. No, there's no one for the buff right now. We're all watching. 3 rallies over on this side. I want to see someone rally this DHX rally just so we can have 4 of them over here. I guarantee someone's rallying this one right now. You're getting too preoccupied with these people over here, DHX. Because you keep sending troops all the way home and you're not paying attention, HMB gets to pull a few troops over here, which pulls 7 or 8 more, and that's less field fighting you're able to do. It very well could. I'm going to stay with it as long as possible. Anyways. HMB is still solid inside their own territory. And that's the other thing. This is all on HMB territory. So they have the advantage here. Actually, I need to go ahead. Because I will forget tomorrow. Next, this is all within Alliance territory buffs. There's another one here. Okay, sorry, it's just this one. I thought the mark was on that Lee, and I was going to laugh. Someone led a counter rally with Lee. You are definitely not solo, and you are not going to last. No rally on this one yet. Oh, there it is. Look at it. You've got Nom's Robert rally on Elena's counter rally on Samuel's Robert rally. Just hilarious. Okay, zoom out, take a look at the marches. Definitely a lot less marches now. Envy came down here to make to try and cause some problems, but it's not working out in his favor. Boone just has the troop advantage down here. Got a couple more coming in to help, and because you're so close to Boone's shelters, they're able to refill before you can kill them off. Oh, got a little frenzy 1v1 going on right here. This is nice. Gotta make time to get points for yourselves when other stuff's going on. Hey, Negan, you're not paying attention. Zoom back in on Hans, and his healing is back up over 4,000, so they have managed to restock it. Samuel's still holding. The counter rally that was hitting Samuel is gone by the looks of it, so Noms ended prematurely. Chuck Norris ended his as well, which ended the Julia rally. A couple of HMB people that aren't moving right now. What? A lot of people just... What's my prediction? Honestly, it's going to come down to who breaks first, as far as willpower. Because these people, I don't think they're going to run out of troops. It's going to run out of how much they're willing to actually keep going. Because even just watching the adrenaline we get from watching this is because we can't fight on this level. Or not a lot of people can. So I'm looking at this just in awe. But they fight like this a lot. At least they have been over the last 5 days. So it's just a matter of how much longer are they going to want to before they get bored. Whoever becomes apathetic first loses. And it could be either side. Honestly, if DHX or Boone becomes apathetic, they won't be able to cover the gap. The other side won't be able to cover the gap. I don't know, get her done. When you've been fighting like this for... Like, I've just been streaming this for the last hour and a half, and I came in after it had already started. I noticed it on my phone, hopped on the stream, I believe 15-20 minutes before reset, and they were well underway. So they've probably been doing this for 2 hours already at this level. I don't think HNB loses if they don't want to. Yes. Not going to amount for much if HMB not only has the... HMB taking the Dead Ruins first put them at a huge advantage. If they hadn't taken it first, I don't think this would have lasted near as long. Not even close. But because HMB took it first, they can fight a defensive battle on territory that is their own. And all they have to do is keep reinforcing it. And if it's just filling the Dead Ruins with troops, they can just keep marching them. As soon as it drops 100,000, fill it up. And that's, you see this line of people just coming in doing just that. I gotta give props to this rally right here. He's been going the entire time. The entire time. Okay, let's see. Got a couple of HMB players made it past the center line. Starting to wonder if maybe HMB players are watching this stream, seeing what I think about it. It's about a 30 to 40% advantage in the area from defenders, you're correct. And any troops on this ruins that are under attack, I believe... Here, I might be able to look at it. No. Nope, it's not going to tell me. I know on towers it tells you that it's a 30-70 spread for kills, wounded on defense, as opposed to on offense a 60-40 spread. So troops are dying trying to get this dead ruins as opposed to just being wounded. Looks like we got another counter rally going. Yep, 60-40. But yeah, you have a couple of HMB players that are pushing past the center line here to try and break up the consolidated power that Boone and DHX is holding on either side. You see, you have this many troops going after a single HMB march instead of fighting over here, which is giving them a lot, giving HMB a lot of breathing room that they shouldn't have. I gotta love clicking on a random buff as opposed to actually fighting. Let's take a look at the chat real quick. Give me just one second. Appears some stuff has changed in HMB's Dart and HMB's Dragon have set up counter rallies again. It appears that Dart is facing Samuel and Dragon is against Save Me. I would like to see some counter rallies against those counter rallies. Give me just 2 seconds to check out my own region. Apparently some stuff has changed. Yep. So our island's pretty much decided. Back to G1. I do need to try and get to 80 million points before I leave. I think I'm like 4 million off. Okay. Any new rallies? None that I can see. And the fighting is consolidated around the center again, which honestly is in HMP's favor. Makes it easier for their troops to get into the center without being targeted. And here you have a bunch of Boone players sitting around Master Pickle not being able to hit anything else. Yeah, whether it's intentional or not, watching HMB players push through in order to get targeted by 18 to 20 players that can't hit them is working in their favor. And Hans is just a monster. His healing is still over 4,000, so you know this thing is still full. Robert's over here with rocket launchers. This is a mixed rally? I can't really tell. Oh no, it's because it's the ranged from Julia's mixing in with the infantry. Okay. It's been a few minutes now. If there were going to be any counter rallies from either side on those counter rallies, we should see them by now. Against, is that a Robert Eddy? Sorry. Yep, and that Keanu, that is the precise reason I'm staying in G1 as long as possible. I've got a computer that can watch it all, and people can't see it on their own phone, so you can play on your phone while streaming the G1 and not miss anything. Uh-oh. HNB canceled their rally. They canceled the range rally. I'm streaming on Twitch and YouTube simultaneously. I'm seeing the chats through Restream.io right now. Sadly, you all can't talk to each other, which I need to find a way to be able to fix that. Yeah, I couldn't imagine trying to watch it on my phone right now. I've got one of the older phones that still functions properly. And even running regular island overheats it a little bit for me, so absolutely nothing. In the beginning, we were kind of just looking around for some of the silliest marches we could find, and someone noticed a Thunder Maxine combo. No. Back in the early game, Maxine had an interesting use in being able to rage lock players, because her active skill reduces the rage of its target by 50. You could stack a bunch of Maxines on a large target and prevent the enemy from being able to use their active skills. But since the limit on amount of troops attacking a target exists now at 10, she can't do anything. Even if all 10 of them were Maxines, it would only reduce the rage by 500. Yes, it would double the amount of time it would take for skills to go off, but it's not enough to make it viable. It was a fun tactic to use on Antpede before they fixed it. No. Maxine had a couple of niche uses for combat in Antpede or in Swarms, but that was it. And since they've pretty much fixed both of those, Maxine shouldn't be in combat anymore. I thought it was funny back when Antpede first came out. We had every single person in our alliance running Maxine in their rally. Didn't matter who they ran it with. And you never had to go refill your troops, because the Antpede never got its skill off, which means it never started that timer, or that count. So you never got to 25, you never died, and you never went home. Okay, we have had a couple of rally updates here. Dart is still hitting Samuel, but someone came down to hit him, if I remember correctly. Over a year. I was from Region 6 originally, so we've been around pretty much since the game officially came out. I want to say it was about 4 months after the game released. So it's been a while since it was around. I just remember it fondly. Where did those other rallies go? I know I saw them. DHX Safe Me is still going. I know I'm not crazy. DHX had another rally coming. And I should see it hitting Dart right now, but it's not. Okay, zoom out a little bit. It's got to be early morning. Reset should be midnight over in England, and right now it is 8:30 here in central US. So, and I know both of these have a lot of English speaking. As far, you mean the Maxine debuffs? It didn't really stack because there was nothing to stack. It just took whatever rage the Antpede had at the time and reduced 50 off of it. If you did that 20 times, you could keep Antpede's rage at 0 indefinitely. And considering larger alliances can now run 45, 50 rallies easy, that was a common thing to do for Antpede back then. They've fixed that, and now you can't even get buffed from zombie damage, which seems kind of silly. A couple of Boon players not doing much. SPEC, oh, that's just a single troop. Okay, he just came for a buff. DHX Dragon Scale. I don't know how you could possibly run this many accounts in combat. And I know Dragon Scale's got solid power in almost all of his accounts, so I don't know. He's got to be running devices that are capable of crazy amounts of speed to have, what is he, 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 4 combat ready shelters with marches on the field. Okay. Well, while this is going on, I don't think I see any other rallies right now, so yeah, I'll have to ask Panda. I definitely want to ask Panda for the reports. Well, these alliances have their own regions. HMB comes from 10, I believe. Boon comes from 4. DHX comes from 95. They don't really attack gatherers because they're all on the same team. Oh, who only have epic heroes? Who's the best for siege? Not doing siege. I would love to say there's a better answer for that, but if you're only running epic commanders, you should be letting somebody else run the siege, and you just run troops that are capable of emptying out resources and stick to that. See, Maxine's first skill of rage and damage reduction doesn't seem to be a good partner with Thunder. No, absolutely not. So I have no idea what they were thinking there. But Mr. Yeah, the epic commanders don't have any solid siege capabilities. John Sullivan, John Sutherland, whatever. Oh, if you're talking about just on islands, then yeah, but the person was asking if they come to hit your gathering troops. I thought it was asking for gathering troops in period. Yes, Jessica has crossed 1 billion kills. And here, I'll just look at it. Right there. 200 million might with over 1 billion in kills. No, but just to make sure I covered that, if you're trying to run siege, you would be better off letting somebody start the rally and joining with your commanders as opposed to trying to run a siege with epic commanders. Dart's running a Thunder on the field now. I guess trying to weaken. Eddie and Roberts definitely changed the game for infantry commanders. Or infantry mains, anyway. Me, I was kind of stuck with just running defense. Adut is nice, but she didn't really have any solid rally pairs. So I kind of left her on the back burner for a while. When Robert came out, I started to try out Robert's Adut on the field because I thought, well, if I weaken, a Dut can still work on a rally. Yes, you don't get the advantage. Here, I'll have to look at that. Which is, I'll have to look at a Dut's fourth skill to verify that, but I think it works whenever she's on the field, which rally still counts. She just can't be used in garrison and get that attack buff. Which is much better, level 50 legendary heroes or awakened epic level 60 heroes? Sorry, I understand you're new to the game. Quick answer to that is it primarily depends on skills more so than level. When you're up to level 50 and 60, green tea, yes, Adut Lewis works until Robert comes out. It's actually a preferred rally team. Level 60 epic commanders tend to also have high level skills, so they are preferable for using on the field if you don't have a solid legendary commander at a decent skill level yet. But that only applies while the skill levels of the legendary commander are low. I think the 10 levels of the commanders is about, I want to say it's somewhere between 10 and 12,000 troops of difference, because most of your troops capacity comes from HQ and a couple other things. So look at the skills of your commanders more so than the levels, and go based off of that. I actually have a couple of videos on my YouTube channel on how to pick good leads for your field marches, and I also break down quite a few, if not all, of the legendary commanders and a couple of the epic commanders if you're interested. Let's see. And that's yeah, Bella is amazing. She's still top. Between her and Elena are the top two rider commanders right now. Sven adds a lot of needed bulk to rallies, but on the field he's a little bit lackluster comparatively. Yeah, I'm trying to be better about making sure I catch these events. I stream all of my Pompeiis now, and Island I at least try to get a couple hours every day, depending on how much is going on, and this island has been by far the best matchmaking we've seen along the top regions, so I definitely wanted to make sure that I was capable of streaming this. And these people have been fighting for over 2 hours now, and just going. Let's analyze the sides here. I keep forgetting Jonathan exists. I really do. But he's really not that great. Yes, he adds another HP debuff, but he's primarily for counter rallies. And while there are instances where where a couple of heroes are locked into a particular job and they do that really well, that is not always the case. And with Jonathan, personally, I don't feel like that works. Hans has dropped below 3,000 in heals, which means he's running a little low. Oh, no, he's back up to 35. Because sadly, this is not Call of Dragons. There are a couple of games that have started incorporating that mechanic there, where ranged troops, or in their case, mage troops, can attack from a distance in exchange for a lot of squishiness. But Doomsday hasn't incorporated that, and I doubt they will.
Do you mind if I go hang out with Maggie?
Just one moment. I'll be right back. Apologies, I am back. Since about 30 minutes, actually, it's been about 30 minutes now. I am curious how the kill scores are going. Let's take a look at Great Pirate King. Remember, we were at 24, 9, and 8. And now we are at 27, 10, and 9 with DHX almost at 11 and Boone halfway to 10. So it is still in HMB's kill favor, it seems like. I'm surprised with all the fighting going on here that they haven't caught up to BTW and ROK yet, because I know these two weren't fighting. We can actually take a look at them real quick to see if they're making a push, but I believe they were at 14 when I checked at the beginning. I wish they would too, but no. They've actually broken the connection. BTW is not doing anything anymore. Well, that island's been decided, which is sad. I won't waste any more time looking at that. And we're back. Oh, I wish they... Sorry about that. There's probably a lag between when I see the chats and when you type them. I really wish they would rework that with ranged troops as well. I played Call of Dragons for a little while, and while I enjoyed the mechanic, because they put so much hype into the game when it first came out and pulled a lot of Rise of Kingdoms players, there was a huge free-to-play to pay-to-play gap that I was not interested in trying to overcome. Who enters Peter plus Lewis, area of damage from Haunter? Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's the reason why they're running Lewis. Anyone who fights around this center is subject to that damage, save for HNB. So that's why I said earlier it's in HMB's favor to fight here in the center, so that they're taking advantage of that, 2-3 million troops that are sitting in the dead ruins dealing skill damage? Yeah. But DHX knows this, and they're trying to keep the fight. DHX and Boone both know this, and are trying to keep some distance away from the center. If they were swarming it, I would suggest a different hero, but currently with the only real attacks coming from rallies, Thunder Lewis is the way to go. Let's see, are there any other counter rallies going? The beginning, I think they were going with a Thunder Victor because of the mixed troops that were still hanging out in the dead ruins. And that was primarily, it was primarily because they swarmed it, and there was a bunch of miscellaneous troops in there. And Victor can buff all of them while waiting on the transition period to get through. I wish they would add in a few more epic heroes too. I still feel like there's a couple of gaps that could be filled by epic heroes that just aren't right now. Even if it was just to try and help the free-to-play players be able to support their team more. Because right now, if you have T4 units, I try to suggest running a Lee or a Alex behind Thunder and Tom, just to help large groups be able to fight more efficiently, even if you're not dealing a lot of damage. Jamola, Thunder's never getting nerfed. They love this kind of combat too much, so an island raid, you'll be matched with the same alliance might, even if the other player has a player over 50 million and you only have alliance member at 30. Alliance might is what matters most and not the player's might. That is the ideal. we have been trying to figure out what they use to measure for matchmaking for quite a while now. The running theory is that it is based off of overall might of the alliance as opposed to taking individual might into effect. We also know that it does take your previous island's positions into effect. So if you did really well in your island, you're going to be paired up with people that were probably stronger than what you faced in the last one, if that makes sense. Now, all of this is thrown out the window for at least the first 5. G1 through G5, I honestly believe are handpicked to try and create either the most controversy or the most action. And this time around, they did a little bit of both. Because you've got BTW against ROK in G2, which was a solid fight watching it. Then you've got HNB versus probably the only 2 alliances currently that can stand up to them in a meaningful sense. Then G3 and G4 is kind of a hodgepodge, but all in all, it's a great match. If you're dealing with players that have that much might over you, you need to focus on getting to where you're going first and running defense. Right now, the reason why HMB is doing so well in this fight is because they're on defense. Defense is much easier to manage. If they were having to attack this Dead Ruins as opposed to defend it, it would be a much different fight. It might not have been lasting this long. Yes, Cozy Spec, you and RPG probably shouldn't be in G1, but the fact that not only were you there, you were participating is huge. So likely that's going to keep you in the top 3 for a little while. So keep that in mind. Wow, Boone let a rally just die. The counter rally against Dart did absolutely nothing. And HNB literally just, they're running a 2 million power rally just to take advantage of Lewis's AoE. Yep, if you're dealing with a higher tier troop, get to where you're going, get on defense. Oh, I know, Jamola. I want them to put all of the big alliances. Just take literally the top 8 in alliance power. Don't look at anything else. Just look at the alliance power and take the top 8, put them in 1G. I just want to see what happens. I think we all want to see what happens. Save Me still going. Where's... Look at him go. Samuel has been going at this for the better part of 2 hours now. This isn't going anywhere unless they counter rally it. Here. Love you, sweetheart.
Love you.
We can hope, but final day don't things can happen, especially in like the first couple of islands that regions go through or that alliances go through. I've heard a lot of people complaining about betrayals and stuff like that happening on the final day because, well, you don't plan on seeing that alliance again. Wonder how much total money was spent in G1. 100,000. Oh, more than that. The amount of money that Doomsday is making from this fight alone is over. I would be willing to bet is over 100,000. G2 LM4S was chilling, and then boom, smack someone. Yep. I appreciate you telling people about my stream, Mr. Jigsaw. LM4S is actually moving. And 21 billion kills and only one player. Yeah, we currently have 1 billion from Jessica. I think you're talking 21 million, not billion. Let's see, are there any other rallies going on here? There is. Chuck Know Your Ass is over here. Still trying to go at this, but he's canceled a couple of times now. Does that seem like less troops to you? The fighting is more consolidated around the center. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I wish I had that kind of money. Oh, the damage I could do with that amount of money. But alas, I am poor. Let's check the chat, see what... One tiny step closer to becoming Jeff Bezos, yeah. Honestly, with the amount of kills that Jessica has right now, I want to know how much she spent. Because I know she used to have over 300... Here, we can check that. Yeah, her highest might is at 280 million. And she's only currently at 195. So she's down almost, 85 million power? Likely since this started. Envy is down 250 million. I want to find that Achilles guy. Where did he end up? Indulge me for just a moment. Because their alliance had someone who was well over 600 million might when he moved into the region. But I don't see him. Yes, I actually watched them zero a couple from BTW and a couple from HNT. And you're probably right, Jamola, this will last a very long time. Yeah, he's not thinking too much, but Poopy Fudge is Achilles? Oh, you're right. He did end up name change because he sold the account. I remember that now. That happened about a month ago now. Green tea, you're absolutely right. Oh no. I've finally... my first lockout. Tried to kick me out of the game because I was doing too much at once. It's starting to die down, people. DHX has a counter rally against the counter rally against the rally. Dart still has his going. Yes, you're right. Achilles did have to stop playing because of his wife, which was honestly really sad. Achilles seemed like a really cool guy from the conversations that I saw with him. And when he was down in like the 190s, he had over 600 million might. So I was definitely interested to see how that was going to help out HMB's efforts. It looks as if Boone is running a. I didn't realize you could run 2 rallies. Let's not go that far, get her done. Not see him in this island. Yeah, it really does suck to not see him on this island. I'm curious how this range rally is going to go. Chun Lewis is very squishy, but they can deal a lot of damage to this Thunder team, and because they saw it coming, HMB backed off. Before they started taking too much damage, they ended the rally, and they'll probably reset. Let's see. See how the healing's going. He's still at 36, so he hasn't dropped too much more than he was at 38. So it's still not a full garrison. Full garrison would be healing 4,000 right now. Yep. I believe she's the only person with over 1 billion kills right now. There's 15 players, 15 or 16 players with over 1 billion points, kill points in this island raid alone. But yeah, Jessica is the only one with over 1 billion kills. HMB canceled their counter rally. I think we're starting to see almost the end of what's going to happen. Will Hans hold out for the rest of this fight? Yep, there's enough that my optimized mode turned off again. Don't worry, Jessica will burn you just because you exist. It has nothing to do with whether or not you're talking about her. Now, I've learned that most of HMB, being up against them twice in islands now, I think 2 or 3 times now, they don't hold back at all. To be honest, I was more inclined that join Boone DXS would cause more problems to HMB. I was thinking they would too. Oh, what is HMB's island chat like? It's not quite Call of Duty-esque, but it gets towards that level sometimes. It can be very funny if you're not on the receiving end of some of the jokes. But they do have a couple of players that take things too far. And a lot of alliances do. Toxic? Ugh. Depends. Because I've seen some toxicity out of Boone, but if you really want to see toxic, put HMB in the same island chat as AOW. They hate Deathlock from AOW with such a passion that you have to mute the island chat at that point. It is ridiculous the levels they go to shit on each other. That last island, HNB was in our island, and they could have gone 1v7 and still beat us, so we kind of just sat out. But AOW was in there as well, and ugh. Good Lord. There's a lot less troops on the field altogether, but honestly, I think Boone and DHX have this if they keep going. Look at this rally. It is, this is a full rally right now. This is a full rally, but it still shows only 4 people. G3, your knowledge. Thank you, Play Earl TV. I love that. I love the high praise. Boom and DHX versus HMB. Yes, we've been watching this for the last 2 hours, and it's still going on. And Green Tea, I completely understand needing to mute IR and Dark Seal. I mute Island Raid in some cases, but I try to keep Dark Seal up because I'm the dumb guy that will help out my enemies before the fight starts. Because I reach out to ask questions of anyone. Is there a reason why they have medium people number? Who has medium people number? I don't know what you mean. It looks like that, but because of how the game works, this red bar doesn't mean a damn thing. Oh, AOW has a medium people number? People don't want to join them. I don't know if it's due to a lack of recruiting ability or what it is. Deathlock has a bad reputation amongst other players. Deserved or not is up to you. This is better than UFC pay-per-view that happened today, and that was $65. I will take that high praise. Thank you. Oh, sorry, my ADHD got me answering too many questions. This line doesn't mean anything. All this bar is technically how many troops that this particular march has in this garrison. So Hans could have 1 more troop left in this, but the rest of the garrison is still completely full. The best way to check it with a Thunder garrison is based off of the heals, not the line. A solid Thunder garrison from H&B is capable of healing over 4,000. So the fact he's still healing 3,800 in cases means this is still full. It's just a better gauge. If you don't have Thunder in there to gauge it off of, then you're SOL. Sorry. There's really not a lot of other ways to gauge it. But that red line doesn't mean a damn thing. Just like Save Me over here. It looks like this rally is about to fall. But it's been like that for 30 minutes now. And Samuels has been in the red for well over an hour. Okay, let's zoom out. That is correct, MJ. You can start a garrison or siege with 1 troop. I don't know the reasoning behind it. Yep, Lennon Joker, that's about my reaction to this still going on. But yeah, MJ, I have seen some people do that, especially more so with sieges. But chances are, if you're strong enough to be a siege or a garrison leader, you should probably be putting your own tier 6 troops in there. Samuel and Hans are units. Samuel's got a couple of different accounts running here. Lennon, this is HNB and DHX versus HNB, DHX, and Boone all fighting over the center line. Oh, yeah, and it'll drop to. Let's see, it's dropped down that low now. I haven't seen Bluefish on the field in a while, so maybe he just showed up. It's down below 3,000. That is not good for... Oh, back over 34. And just like that, it's starting to climb again. Dart has set up his counter rally against Samuel again with a Thunder Lewis. They have 1.7 thousand cars in the ruins. Left side, BKS. I don't know what you mean by left side there, MJ. I am surprised that Boone isn't trying to sort of backdoor this kind of thing, because they could try and take out the towers here, which would split them up. And if Hans is having to deal with cars, he's going to need to switch out. Okay, on average, how much do you think would have to spend to make an account strong enough to fight here? Well, to fight there, you're talking thousands per month. I would not be surprised if each of these people out here are spending at least $1,000 a month. Oh, you saw Bluefish on the left side. Thank you, MJ. They are simply clicking on the picture of the one that they want to fight. See, if I click on this Lee, I could pull up battle, and it'll give me my window, and I will send all 5 of my marches at that one. That's essentially what they're doing here, which is why you see a lot of marches that aren't taking any damage, because they're not being targeted. You'll find... Now, there's probably some of them that are just double-clicking the pictures for their commanders and dragging them to an HMB player they want to hit, but I can't imagine that avoids a lot of friendly fire. At least if I click this, I know exactly who I'm hitting. If I come over here, I can double-check, okay, that's an HMB player, and I'll click battle. Oh. So they have, if they're running riders and cars in there, they've essentially weakened Hans's capabilities, because a couple of Thunder's required talents are infantry only. Yeah, that was, I believe that was back during, I think I talked about this earlier. The last time I remember HME and Boone being in the same island was when the game crashed on the first day. And yeah, I'm going to be asking Panda for these reports if I can get them. But yeah, that island back then, when the game shut down and wouldn't let half of the players log on. Oh, you can share the scout report. Yeah. And then I can find out where you are. I'm seeing more scouts on... Can I confirm if Panda Guy has an account named Pirate King? Sure, I can just ask him. I'll reach out to him on Discord after all of this is over, and here, let me see if I can find him now. No, you're not going to let me do it that way. How dare you? No, I'll just do that on my phone while this is going on. That way you don't have to wait on me to do that. Let's see. Thank you, Ritz, for confirming the Achilles situation for me. I appreciate that. Named Pirate King. He says that he is that panda guy and he's helping out a lot in our region. Yeah, I can ask him. I love to watch Panda Movie, but after joining Boone, he starts to bring in mind more creating propaganda about Boone HMB stuff. And I don't know if I would call that propaganda. He's loyal to his alliance, and HMB is very much against Boone. So yeah, it's gonna feel like you're hearing the good side of one and the bad of the other. Yeah, I would. Well, because HMB and Boone and probably DHX as well are very good at making it very clear what heroes should be avoided. If you've ever listened to that Panda guy or Master Pickle, they have very strong opinions about what commanders are good and which ones are not. And both of them have made it very clear that Jonathan should be avoided. I did watch that HNB and Boone facing each other in Pompeii a couple of weeks ago, and it very much came down to it very much came down to Boone not wanting to rally anything. HNB would rally their objectives and they would win their objectives, and then Boone would not rally theirs and they would try and swarm it. Doesn't work. I'm in region 164. Hey, Smoke Alt, this one's for you. Here's my commander idea. You should be able to add me as a friend from that if you haven't already. What tower are they hitting? Oh, they came over here. Look at them. Hans and Poopy Fudge are over here hitting a tower, and they're going to win this one. But I don't really know what the purpose of it is, because it doesn't cut off territory. Eastwood knows that he can't get any damage on it, so he's avoiding it. Maybe they're just trying to get a few extra kills, because they think they're going to lose it. Boone took it. HMB didn't act fast enough. Boone actually took it from HMB. Oh, we are not going to hear the end of that. I came in late and you were talking about 10 squads can only cause damage. I didn't catch the whole thing. Ron Burgundy, hopefully you're still watching the stream. It just means that that was actually a good view of it from up here. If you saw how this was functioning up here, there was a limit to the amount of troops that can hit a single target. Basically, just what that means is this tower can only have 10 attackers around it. If an 11th one hits, that 11th march won't actually deal any damage. And because they aren't dealing damage, they're not taking damage. Could they still be affected by AoE? Absolutely. However, you can only have 10 instances of basic attack damage on a single 10 instances of basic attack damage on a single target at a time. The only exception to this currently is like the large villages in Island Raid and Antpeed. It looks as if HNB backed off. Boone may have taken this, but this is not over yet. I feel like Boone's going to have a hard time. Boone or DHX is going to have a hard time actually holding against a rally from HMB. So, DHX, what are you doing? Let's see. I'm definitely curious about what's going to happen here. HMB is not done yet. Well, while we have a little bit of a break, let's take a look at the scores. Now, if you remember correctly, we were at 24, 9, and 8, and it is now at 28, 11, and 10. That's just an insane amount of points being scored by 3 alliances in a very short period of time. 7th place is only 3 billion, and the number 1 alliance just got that in the last 2 hours. More than that in the last 2 hours. Just ridiculous to think about. Let me go ahead and donate. And we will head back to G1 to see if they're... Now, what will HMB do now? With everything they've accomplished in this island raid, I don't think they're going to give up the Dead Ruins so easily. I really don't. Both sides have to be running on fumes. I mean, because while this is, don't get me wrong, this is a lot of troops. This isn't even close to what was on the field 2 hours ago. Let's see. Why did... I'm not... Doomsday has their own PC version, and I have basically shut down everything else on my computer running right now to make sure that I didn't lag on this. I did have the game crash once, where it just kind of reset, but I wanted to make sure that people could see this, because I know on phone it is impossible to look at this right now. Almost impossible. That's a weird one. Don't celebrate just yet. Did you just... They gave it to DHX. They gave it to DHX. I wonder if there's a reason for that. If I had to guess, DHX is probably going to be a little bit better at defending it, and that will allow Boone to kind of run amok for field control. Let me see. 180 at 15. And 179 at 15, so they're both equal. Said Boone promised it to DHX to take down HMB, and that would make a lot of sense. To make sure that there was an alliance between Boone and DHX, guarantee that the level 8 went to DHX. Because Boone has given up the level 8 before. A bug happened? That would explain a couple of things for me. Because right before the ruins fell, we went over to this side of the map where only 3 of HMB's players were attacking a tower. In that short amount of time, not only did Boone take the level 8, but all of HMB's troops were gone. And I don't think they would have just stopped fighting in the field for no reason. Oh, Boone and DHX will be allies for so long now. I think they had already planned on being allies long before this point. HMB has their own set of allies as well. So, taunting is unbecoming. There's a random machine sitting out in the field. This might be over for the time being, but I don't think HMB is going to let it go without a fight. So you can expect something to pop up at the very latest 3 hours before reset. Because it took them over 2 hours to fight for this level 8. And that was with 2 alliances trying to take it down. So they're going to give themselves a little extra time to take it, and if they manage to take it, Boone and DHX won't be able to take it back. You're welcome, Wrong Burgundy. Looks like as if people are switching out. Whoever has troops left getting onto the front lines, and so on and so forth. HMB is still burning this tower over here. I would love to have that burn speed right now, but woes of being in a newer region. Show the stream. You poor guy. There's too much going on. Man. That was an impressive fight. While I wait and see if we're going to get any of the reports from this all of this fighting, I'm going to go take a look at the rest of the top 5 regions and see how well they're doing. We will start from 5 this time around. And as expected, 147A has taken their level 8, which this is Federation age at its finest. They have access to more heroes, as well as being in an older region means your members are more developed without having to spend. So otherwise, not a lot of change. My own region, H-Loon has taken the level 8, which fully expected them to do so. This 1v3 situation we've put ourselves in was probably the most fun we've had in an island in a long time. We're very much a defensive alliance, and we couldn't get there fast enough. So while we weren't able to pierce to the level 8, they will not be taking the level 7 from us, despite their best efforts. So I'll take that as a win, being able to take on 3 full alliances and not lose any ground. We didn't gain anything against them, but we didn't lose any. And we took 7th in overall kill points for our alliance. Checking out G3. G3, the level 8, seems to have been taken by K815. Completely understand that. TK84 appears to be building around for some reason, but it appears as if these 2 alliances are friendly, so there likely won't be any more fighting in this region. I know I had someone trying to explain to me a couple of things that were being changed, but I'll have to see if I can find them in chats other way. Let's see. Okay. Oh, here we are. In G2, Evil, part of the Korean Federation, which we understood that. We knew they were allied. And Evil is only trying to cut people off from ROK. They'll always be allies. I think we had that in mind already. Evil was building around ROK, so they weren't planning on actually taking it. LAS, Saya, and King go against the Korean Federation and the Korean teams with CSWU, Ping, and K815. So I think we kind of understood that already. K815, Ping, and CSWU, TK84, R137. This one's already been decided. There hasn't been any movement from the last time we looked. Next we have just a final look at G2, which BTW has destroyed the towers that were touching ROK. I hope they share them. Usually, we have a couple of old Alliance members that were in with them, so we were hoping to get something from them. Lucy from DHX and Detena from Boone are old Alliance mates of ours, so they kind of talked to them. Stop trying to sell accounts. Oh, they absolutely will, but which side will they be on? I get the feeling that ROK will likely align with HNB, and BTW will align with Boone. Well, I knew that. That's the reason why I thought they would go with HNB. And BTW will give that alliance side an even greater field advantage. I do think BTW would have had a chance if they weren't stuck on the defensive. But ROK, with their interesting build process, built straight to the level 8 with the full intention of stopping BTW from ever making it. And that's what they did. And just to make sure there's not much else happening here, DHX has it, HNB, they're not even allowing people to teleport in. And that's how this island was balanced, by putting 2 alliances that could stand up to HNB. But I would not count HMB out just yet. If this was in fact a bug and not the result of HMB's loss, this is actually going to infuriate them to the point where if they can rally behind that anger, they'll come at this probably around, I would guess, 20 to 2100 UTC tomorrow. I assume you mean something else other than molding, unless that's a word I am not aware of. They are probably pissed. During last hour, Boone gets many whales. After that, HMB decided to join with ANCS. Yes, honestly... Oh, mad balding. Mad balding. That's a new one. Thank you for teaching me a new word. MJ, you are correct. I remember when Pickle reached out to me saying that they were going to be merging with ANCS. Honestly, it seemed so crazy that I didn't believe it. Because in my mind, I'm like, if those two alliances merge, there won't be anything powerful enough to stop them. And to a certain extent, yeah, that's the case. One-on-one, I don't think there's an alliance that can stand up to HMB. I don't think there's an alliance that really comes close. It took Boone and DHX the last 2.5 hours, and from the looks of it, a bug, to be able to take down HMB on defense. Based on Naddle? Sorry, Player Earl, I don't know what Naddle is. Am I about to learn another word? Okay. Yes. Yeah, based on the battle, Boone and DHX only got about 3.5 billion kills. And HMB got over 4 billion. So they were on the good side of those trades. For some reason, the garrison leader died in the last fight. Yeah, if something like that happened, I'll be the first to say my heart goes out to HMB for not being able to fight a fair fight. They deserve to have a full fight against both of these alliances. Oh, no. I don't see Boone and DHX merging. I don't see Boone and DHX merging primarily because there's just not enough space. Both of their alliances have members that might be on a little bit on the weaker side. They're not going to give them up for any reason. And with there being a cap at 180, I don't see either side being able to give up 90, even if it was to try and make one powerful alliance. Because chances are the weaker 90 from one side would have to shift regions. What would be the ranking of HNB in that island with the 8 taken from them? Well, let's take a look. HNB currently has 2 7s and a 6. I think that alone puts them in second place. Boone has only a 6 and a 7. DHX has the 6, 7, and 8. Mink, 2 6s. Hot 9 with a 6. Spec with a 6. Cozy with a 6. So yeah, I believe the ranking is DHX, HNB, and then depending on when these were taken and how giving up that level 8 works, the next place would go to either Mink or Boone. Oh, you're right. HNB is definitely overpowered. Like I was saying, 1v1, HNB doesn't lose. let's see, but it needs to be extremely tough to play with such a... Oh, yeah, you're absolutely right. That's why if Boone and DHX were to actually merge, one half would go to Boone, and the other half would have to move to DHX's region, because there's no way that many powerful players are going to sit in one region. I just don't see it happen. DHX, HMB, Boone, Mink right now. Okay. I was curious, because I know the points are a little bit weird. We will see how the next one goes, because you know HMB won't take this one lying down. And it looks like all of the Boone players have backed off except for Red Bull, because it's Red Bull. I don't think we're getting first in ours, but we definitely had a lot of fun. Yeah, I don't get how either of these three alliances can have such a strong field presence after all of those kill points that they've earned. Even Boone and DHX's kill rankings are just ridiculous comparatively. We're in 7th. Oh, I'm missing it. How dare I miss it? Can't see where the battle's going. Oh, I must have missed it. Money. Money is exactly how they can keep up. But how is there that much money? I'm not a spender, so I don't know the numbers. Like, I don't know the numbers, so I don't know exactly how much it would take to spend, how much you would need to spend to get to a certain point. But there's got to be a limit, right? HMB has 28 billion kill points in this one island alone, and I don't think they're done. They're fighting down here. What? It's got to be one of these. The only towers DHX could hit. You said, oh, Shy went to Boone, not DHX. Idiot. That's why I was lost. For some reason I was confusing Shy and Lucy. That's my bad. Two players I know very well that went to different alliances. I haven't been coughing as much, so I'll take that as a win. So, but thank you. I am feeling a little bit better today. I'm thinking because I just got myself distracted for the last almost 3 hours. But I do have more appointments next week. Are they actually hitting a tower, or are they just fighting? I zoom out. There is a tower here, but the tower's not being hit. They're just fighting to fight. Thank you, I appreciate that. I feel a little bit better today, so I'll take it. The last month has been absolutely ridiculous for me, and I hate the fact that I'm on stream or in videos wasting time coughing. So, I'm glad that hasn't been the case for this one. Oh no, Boone is having to back away. I got to admit, I was expecting Shy to change the way she played when she moved to Boone, but that didn't happen. Shy was the second strongest player in Region 6 for quite a while. It was between Shy and Tony or Captain or however you remember him. And they had no care in the world. They'd kill everything. I apologize for missing it. Now, Shy doesn't care. She's going after Envy and probably not taking the best trades, but against Julia, she's fine. As soon as the rest of them turn around, not so much. Yeah, Shy is a ranged commander. Yeah, I'm definitely having fun on the game. I'll try and keep an eye on G1 throughout the day. After I wake up tomorrow morning, and make sure I don't miss any major combat from. Yeah, pretty much sleep with one eye open, and make sure I don't miss anything happening from all of this because I know HMB is not done yet. There's no way they're done. I find it funny that Shy wanted to come down here and hit this tower with absolutely no benefit just to start a fight. HMB probably needs to take some time, heal, get their troops ready, and go for a counterattack. Probably, like I said, probably about 3 to 4 hours before reset tomorrow. And that's when I'm going to keep a lookout for it. I think if HMB goes for it, they can take it in about 3 to 4 hours. If I had to guess. Hans is still here, and DHX is going to cover that tower, and Boone's distracting him down here. So even after 3 hours of fighting, oh, he had enough support. Hans definitely had the support for it. Brain sent a screenshot of Hans mentioning something about the bug in English chat. I assume over Discord? Yes, she did. Yep. You're right. The garrison leader died, which, if that's the case, and the garrison leader just died, that would have kicked everybody out, even if the garrison wasn't over. But that doesn't explain why all of the troops around the level 8 disappeared. Because let's be honest, HMB still had a solid presence around the level 8, but as soon as it was gone, they just left. If anything, as soon as it fell, the smartest move would have been to swarm it before they had a chance to build up a defense. But HMB was just gone. And of course, Shy is going to pop over here and swarm this one. Because Shy is not done playing around. I got to admit, Shy knows what she's doing. There's nothing wrong with really any of these troop choices. Robert Bianca is a little interesting, but Adut Eddie, Bella, yeah. As soon as you pour it in, you probably still got a good bit of damage on it. As soon as your troops go back, I'll probably get to watch you port somewhere else. Yeah, let's see. Nice, Vanguard. Very nice. Solid victory here, primarily because of that Jaden being absolutely useless on the secondary. And the first one... My rider buffs beat your infantry buffs, but because... Well, one, they weren't awake. Your Thunder's not awakened either. You need to work on your Thunder, Vanguard. But, well, I won't make you sit. I'll make you all sit around and watch nothing else happening. Do you all have any other questions for general questions about how to play the game? If you have any regions you want me to check out, I'll hang out here for another 5 to 10 minutes while you answering questions, and then I'm gonna hop off here and keep an eye on my phone or on PC to make sure I don't miss any fighting going on. Yes, I did. Primarily from Raigoro, because I was using him a lot more in a field battle situation. I don't know anyone from Region 140 off the top of my head, Mr. Jigsaw. I apologize. I wanted to see how it would affect my arena team more so than anything else. And while I've found that this can definitely help in garrisons, giving you the additional rage, on the field I don't let this hit below 30% at all. So having the additional rage for a situation I don't use seemed pointless. So I took the points out of there, took the points out of here because my Thunder already overheals, and dipped them into damage mitigation for damage control for a little bit more damage mitigation, and made sure that my infantry tree was maxed out for some additional stats. Now, that won't apply to everyone. If you use Raigoro with a non-healer, I would definitely suggest picking up the additional healing. But you can fine-tune it however you want. My Raigoro Thunder doesn't get that weak before I pull him back. So I had no reason to keep this. And I'm not going to spend... I don't want to spend a talent reset to set him up for garrisons, so this is also my garrison setup. And it works very well for me. Let's see, I think I have... No, I didn't keep it. I'll have to ask Z if he still has that garrison. Because I handled a T6 garrison yesterday fairly well with Raigoro Thunder. Two hours past reset. I haven't done any of my daily stuff. And the one thing that I would spend money on, I have no reason to spend money on. My Tom's awakened, my Raigoro's awakened, Adut is awakened, and she's the next one to pop up here. So I've got nothing to buy in the daily boost that I don't already have. When do you go for Rye Thunder versus Thunder Tom, Thunder Lewis? The primary reason Lewis isn't an option for me is because he's not upgraded. I would love to be able to pick up a this amazing garrison commander, but I would only use him in garrison. Whenever my alliance is in situations where they need another rally, I can make do with like Robert or a Robert Adut or something else like that. And my garrison is designed to just outlast. I don't really care about it dealing too much damage. So the reason I go with Raigoro Thunder versus Thunder Tom is by the time someone's trying to hit me, they're weak enough I can take it. So Thunder Tom tends to overheal in situations like that. And you can check that. Oh, I could awaken Lewis, but that's putting, for me, that's putting universal relics into a commander I'm only going to use in certain instances. The 4 commanders I Raigoro, Adut, Thunder, and Tom, I will use in every situation. In Island, they will hit the field. 25 to 30 in 4 months will get you 100 to 120 million might. Yeah, that sounds about right. But yeah, to finish answering the other question, Raigoro Thunder for me is better damage mitigation and reduces the risk of overhealing. Is it a little bit weaker on single target rallies? Absolutely. I feel like it's kind of middle of the ground between Thunder Tom against single targets versus Thunder Lewis against 4 to 5. Raigoro's counter damage is really nice, and his rage generation from his first skill maxes out at 3 targets. So for me, Raigoro Thunder is about middle of the road between those two. And works very well for when I decide to use it. Dr. Disrespect trying to bait people. And this is just sad for me. My hospital capacity is maxed out. And it's primarily because I don't have the rest of my hospitals upgraded. Because I don't want to use the resources on it. My own fault, but still. Any other questions before I go? I'm going to double check the scores for Great Pirate King. HNB at 28.6 billion, DHX at 11.4 billion, and Boone at 10.2. DHX definitely put in the work. Let's check the personal rankings. Hans at 3.5 billion by himself, followed by Master Pickle, which fully saw this coming, and Poopy Fudge. They're 3 biggest fighters, and Jessica rounding out HMB's top 10. DHX has Safe Me and Dragon Scale, which we saw rallies from both of them. Fully understand how they're ranked up here. I watched all 3 of these ROK players. Wait, where's the other one? Right here. All 3 of these ROK players basically bully BTW. Yes, I actually just got it in the Top Commander event with Victor Bianca before I left Region 6. I basically dumped everything. Since I wasn't going to be able to bring resources with me, I just dumped everything. So I have everything at 25 now. I'm just building up the research towards T6, which is still gonna take me a little while. I've still got a couple of big ones left to do, but I've got enough in my infantry that once those are done, I should be able to get this soon. Battlefield Medicine needs me to have those 2 at level 10, and I have to backtrack to Common Truck. In time, I will have it. But with that being said, I appreciate that I was able to provide a service for people today. I will get this uploaded to my YouTube Island Raid playlist tonight and place it in the Discord channel for people to watch, so you'll be able to come back to it later, so long as they keep that channel open. But yeah, I know they do. I'll be using speed ups for those level 10 ones. Once I actually have a top commander that I want that I actually want the rewards for. No sense in me taking relics from people when my Thunder's already awakened. With that, I'm gonna hop off here and spend a little bit of time with my wife before I go to bed tonight. And I appreciate everybody that dropped by, and thank you for all the well wishes on my health. I truly appreciate that. I'm more than happy to continue streaming Island Raid as soon as I know when there's fighting going on. So if you notice it before I do, please reach out to me in game or on Discord, and I'll be happy to throw it up in on stream so that you all can watch it without having to deal with the lag. But with that, this is Mr. Brain, your friendly neighborhood gaming dad, signing off.